Lukaku saga highlights football's problem with player honesty versus discipline. Romelu Lukaku was bang on to say things, how he sees them in that interview last week. And Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel was bang on to leave him out of the game against Liverpool on Sunday. It was the latest example of football's perennial problem of honesty versus pragmatism. And I hope a lot of modern players take a leaf from Lukaku's book and think, do you know what? If I'm not happy with something that has happened, and I'm speaking the truth, then I'm going to tell it how it is too. The episode reminds of me of the time I gave an interview not long after joining Liverpool from Nottingham Forest in 1995 for a then British record fee. Me and my agent had both spoken to Liverpool's top brass prior to signing about what they wanted from me. And in those talks it was all, yep, we want you to score goals and create chances, we'll stick you up front first with Ian Rush and then Robbie Fowler. What they didn't tell me was that Robbie would always be the fulcrum of the attack and that Steve McManaman was the player they wanted to run with the ball, and I effectively had to change my game completely over the 2 years I was there. Fairly early on, I invited a journalist from 4to42 magazine to my house and he asked a general question about how things were going. I said, well, in what other industry would a company buy an asset only to completely use them in a different way? Naturally, the story was picked up by every newspaper and I got called in by my manager, Roy Evans, who wanted to tear a strip off me. Not many players were in when I went in to see Roy, but I remember, as if it was yesterday, John Barnes standing at the door in his flip-flops. He laughed and whispered, right thing to say, shouldn't have said it publicly. But if right, why not? After all, if I'm a Liverpool season ticket holder then or Chelsea now, why shouldn't I know what a player has been promised to join my club? Now I'm older, I obviously see the other side, and Tuchel's words about the interview creating a noise he and the club didn't need were pitched perfectly. Roy had to answer questions about my interview in the press and, looking back, I would have fined and castigated me for giving it. If I was in Lukaku's position now, I'd have gone into the dressing room yesterday and said, lads, sorry it has been a bit of a circus. And then I'd have gone in to see Tuchel and said, are you going to play me as I was told I was going to play? If it was, yes, then I'd get my head down and revisit everything at the end of the season. If it was, no, I'd be paying my own airfare to Milan and begging forgiveness from Inter fans in the hope they could afford to re-sign me. However this particular episode plays out, though, it's another example of an age-old problem that